I believe this year could be a good year, very good year for solar panel and silver. So very bullish. I'm very pleased to see silver break out.
This week's special with Miles Franklin Precious Metal Investments. Kilo Valcambi silver bars for only $2.75 over spot. 10-ounce Nadir silver bars for only $2.95 over spot. Call us at 1-888-81-LIBERTY. That's 1-888-815-4237.
Hey everyone, this is Elijah K. Johnson with Liberty in Finance. And with us today, a new guest, Chen Lin, the president of Lin Asset Management. Chen, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Elijah. Glad to be on your show.
As we look at the markets the last few days, we're seeing gold, silver, and platinum rally significantly, especially silver and platinum. What do you think is driving those markets right now?
Yeah, it's very interesting. Actually, this year, usually gold breaks out. Gold move first, and then silver and platinum follow. But this year, it's just opposite. Silver broke out. Silver broke out about 2 days ago, right? So it's when I made the first major move, and then got all these phone calls from my friend and other investor. What's going on, Chen? What do you see? So there's no specific news except China decided to build 13 ultra high power transmission line. Okay, so China has a big commitment this year to wind solar big time, but the people don't quite believe it, right? So people think, well, you can talk all the talk, but deliver. So this is actually the really concrete sign China is going to go big on solar this year. And as we know, China is the largest solar market, about 90% of solar panels in China. So very, very significant. Solar also the largest consumer of silver, 10%. Okay, and then solar supposedly go 5 to 10 folds in 10, 20 years, according to CNN. Okay, not me, but CNN, but also other reports. But you think about it, so silver already 10%. If you go 5, 10 fold, where does the silver come from, right? That's the question. Of course, the future panel, they will use less and less silver, right? They make it finer and finer film, and then they use less silver, but still, you're talking about a 5 to 10 fold of 10%, right? So that's very, very significant. And silver production has flat as a pancake in the past few years. So that's driving it. Last year, I was a big disappointment for solar panel because of a component shortage. I mentioned in my report quite a few times, and then I have very high hope for this year. I put in my Kitco interview, all my interviews in months ago for outlook of this year. I believe this year could be a good year, very good year for solar panel and silver. So very bullish. I'm very pleased to see silver break out. I think there were doubt about China, building this. Now they build this transmission line. That's make it much easier to transport energy, mostly from the west, like Xinjiang area. That's very flat, a lot of desert, to transmit the power to Beijing, which is, about 3-hour time difference. So you think about that's almost perfect. In the afternoon, they have more sunshine, and then in Beijing already in the evening. So, which you can start use that energy. So that's really, really the commitment. And then I think that's when silver just took off. I think people maybe producer try to hedge a little bit. They try to buy this. And then silver was so negative, sentiment was so negative. There's so many people shorting silver, and just a little bit push, a little bit notch, silver just broke out. It's just spectacularly, as you see in the past 2 days. Now silver over 24. It can easily visit $30. Last year, because the momentum coming in, because traders are very badly positioned. They're still shorting silver. Not many people are really positioning silver stock as well. So that's actually create a very, very interesting opportunity. Platinum is for different reason. Platinum is Russia and Ukraine about to get into war. Well, there's a report that Russia already withdraw stuff from the Ukraine embassy. So it's getting close. Even Biden said Russia probably going to do something because there are so many troops there. Russia is the largest producer of palladium and the second largest producer of platinum in the world. Okay, so that's people worry. And then platinum is like almost 20-year low. Again, traders are very, very negative. If you look at the report, they're net short of platinum. And then suddenly this comes and people start buying, let's start running. But this is not the end, because there's another key catalyst coming, which is South Africa. Number one, platinum producer. Number two, palladium producer. The contract is due this year. So there's very likelihood there's going to be a strike. And then could be prolonged strike. Because all these miners, they have very strong balance sheet. They made a lot of money. They don't ever have a debt. So they can withhold. They can last for 6-12 months easily, the strike. That's you think about Russia and South Africa, 90% ore production. And then you think about how much price, how high the price is, right? Platinum still right now is significantly lower than gold. It usually trade at premium to gold. You think about that. So that's the upside. So I'm very pleased to see platinum and silver broke out. And one thing that really left was gold. And I got a lot of people worry about me, calling me on Tuesday, say, oh, if gold doesn't respond, if only silver goes up, there will be a fake breakout. There's a lot of fake breakouts. If silver, first, it's very unusual, right? Silver breaks out. And then if gold doesn't go, silver will come in. But silver breakout was so strong, actually push everything go up on gold. You look at Credit Suisse or some institute, they say gold will go down to 1,200 or something this year, 15 to 1,200. So they're very, very negative, and then Fed is about to raise interest rate. As I said in my outlook for this year, I think when the Fed raising interest rate is the perfect time to buy gold. But I think the probably market already pricing. Your market is forward-looking animal. They already pricing we're going to raise rate in March. So that's a perfect opportunity. Just take out like this. So you see the gold chart, it took out from the triangle after long consolidation. Looks very, very good. So I expect and I'm hoping to see higher gold price plus and much higher silver and platinum price in the coming months.
Do you have any price targets for gold, silver, and also platinum this year?
The gold, I see it take off the high of the last time. Easily we go to 2,000 and above. And if it really runs, it can run much higher. As I explained in my interview before, we have a very interesting that gold in China is cutting interest rate. China just cut interest rate yesterday. Then they already cut twice this year. United States raising interest rate. When that happened, it's almost perfect, picture perfect, that gold just is the important bottom of gold. And then gold bottom around, current price, 18. So where's the top? Right? You think about where's the top. So I see the gold take off the old high, and it can run much higher, but really price depends on a lot of different factors, but I just know it's go higher. For silver, silver generally run much, much higher than gold. There's last time silver peaked at 50, and we're not even at 50 yet, right? We're still half of 50. And so I think silver can go, probably will take off 50 on this drive. I hope it's not like this year go to 70 and come down. No, I hope it will be gradually base building, and then we can kind of see the demand of solar panel, electrical car, or the other use more and more silver, take out the slack of the weekend, people selling their silver plate, silverware, take out those silver gradually, and then we have a bigger, higher price, higher spike. For platinum, it really depends on the war, Russia-Ukraine war. If there's a war, actually it's a good time to sell, because I don't think it will be a really disruption, but people just fear all these people who use platinum, like automobile, and all the other chemical plant, they will buy up platinum just to fear of disruption. But even we have another sanction on Russia, I don't think the platinum will be disrupted, but it's just a fear. That can go up easily a few $100s. But the strike of South Africa can be very, very interesting. You see, South Africa, the gold mine is about to go to strike. They already have everything right. Just a day ago, they said they just need a 48-hour notice to go to strike. So they're miles apart. It's against Spanish Stillwater's gold mine. Okay, so that's actually can set up the tone for the platinum later. You can just watch how long the gold strike lasts, and then you can get some idea how long the platinum can last. The key is right now the PGM price has been high, so the company has a lot of cash. They don't need to settle with the worker very easily. But worker, they think, wow, the company, you fat cat, you get so much money. We want a part of it. We want the profit sharing. So the two sides is very, very wide. So that strike can last very long. Easily go 6 to 12 months, have I said. I mean, that will drive the platinum to very high, at least gold, on par with gold.
Now, as we look at silver specifically and the supply issues you mentioned, do you see any shortages in the near future?
I don't see a shortage. I don't see it. But I see it takes a few years, okay, for it to tilt, supply demand to tilt, because there's a lot of silver around. I mean, people has old silverware, silver plate, silver coin. If the price is high enough, a lot of people will sell it. You just go to the eBay or whatever they will sell. So there will be a lot of above ground supply coming, but and also you don't want to be very, very high, because if silver, for example, go to 60 this year, then all the solar panel guy will work very, very hard to reduce silver in the solar panel because the cost is so high. So you don't want that. You want a gradual process. Hopefully takes a few years to take off all the loose silver, and then we have a big rally. So
that's really interesting how we don't want a skyrocketing price, because often that can then lead to a long time of consolidation afterwards. It just spikes up and then falls right back down.
Right. Like the Hunter brother went to 50. Last time went to 50. And actually, I sold my last silver when I went back 50 last time. But I think this time will be more than 50. All these are pointing to higher than 50. But I don't want to see a spike up and a spike down. I want to see a gradually multi-year building. And then we have a base maybe around 40. And then we spike higher. That would be fun. That would be that would be the one I would like to see.
I know there's a lot of different ways to play the market. You can own the physical metal. You can own stocks. What are some of the stocks you're looking at and investing in right now?
Right. For silver, the mining industry is not making a lot of money at $20+ silver mine. You really need a pure silver mine. You really need $30, $40 to make a significant cash flow. So a lot of companies are struggling. If you look at a lot of those silver junior, they keep raising money, dilute shareholders. Some are really crashing. I just don't want to mention. So you want first you want a company that don't need to go to the market. They're producing, or exploration company, they have a lot of cash. That at least for the near term, they don't need to dilute. So that's kind of silver I like. For the big company, I like Max Silver. They already get into production, but they have a mill delay for 6 months. But their partner has another mill nearby, so they can ship the ore. So it costs a little bit high, but they're making very, very nice cash flow. So that's a big company, right? A small company, I like a tiny little bit company called Cerro de Pasco Resource. So it's an old Cerro de Pasco mine, used to be the largest mine in the world. They own all the tailings, the historical tailing, which can be very high grade. Actually, it is very high grade, and then all grind down. You just need to reprocess it. Huge tailing, and you can. There's some report that this could be the largest above ground resource in the world. So they have been struggling in the past few years, partially because they try to deal with Glencore. They want to do a JV or get their mill, but the Glencore somehow, have a new CEO, have a change of mind. They say, okay, why don't you drill? And then if it's good, I buy you. That's their attitude. And then so the talk broke down. But this year could be a year. and then they will start drilling. There will be a lot of activity. They already got a silver zinc mine nearby, so their producer, they're on the CNQ. They will uplist it directly to TSX this year. So and then that will attract a lot more investors, become producer, cash flow, and then many other story to go. They want to be clean energy, clean hydrogen, so on and so forth. So that's mostly I have for silver. One big, one small, but also there are many others. I just don't have time to mention, but I love silver. So
one of the things you mentioned is that it's very hard for silver producers to make a profit at these low levels, which seems like silver is a necessary resource for all the things we just talked about, like green energy and all of that. And so if silver is a necessary resource and the miners are struggling to produce it at a profit, it's like prices have to rise. I don't see any other way.
Yeah, exactly. Most of the silver is produced for byproduct, right? Zinc and lead. So zinc and lead price is pretty high, so they continue to produce. I'm talking about the pure silver mine, or mostly primary silver mine. Yeah, they're having a difficult time, very difficult time. So that's why you see the silver production profile has been very flat, and maybe going down a little bit and maybe up a little bit, depends on other metal price, not silver. So if silver is in demand, my point is, where's the response for supply? It has to be a lot higher, right? If silver demand increase. So that's the question. That's why I see silver can go much higher, and I see this round, this cycle, I see is higher than 50.
Coming full circle, if we do look at the price rises we've just seen in the last couple of days in all of the metals, the gold, silver, and platinum, do you see this continuing, or do you see that it might be time for a little bit of a breather and consolidation from this massive rally we've seen the last few days?
Yeah, I think the consolidation may be, maybe, yeah, we are actually today, we can enter a little bit consolidation. So you cannot go straight up. So some consolidation is needed. But I see is investors are very, very underinvest in silver, very, very underinvest. And when the silver just broke out this week, I think that investors are net shorting. The trade hedge funds are net shorting silver. So the sentiment is so negative that it just, what happened, as I said, this month, it's just a little bit push, maybe a little bit order from China for their solar panels that just went take off. So I think we have a long way to go. People who bought early this week have a nice profit, but there's not a lot of people bought early this week, before the rally. So there's not a lot of profit taken. That's my point. Because consolidation is profit taking, right? But you have to be people who bought early this week to take profit, but most people are just sleeping. That's my point.
Definitely. So few people are actually invested in silver at the moment. Well, Chen, thank you so much for joining us today. Before we let you go, if people are interested in learning more, where can they find you online? And did you want to share with the viewers also any last thoughts you had?
Yeah, I have a website called chenpix.com where you can subscribe to my newsletter. And I just see this year as a very interesting year. Fed has been very hawkish. They're trying to cool down the inflation. I think their inflation probably will come down a little bit, but there's a lot of factors, especially the trade war between U.S. and China, that will change the inflation dynamic for the past 20 years. So I don't see we go back to the deflationary, though there will be some inflationary, but it will come down. And I don't see Fed can raise interest rate that much as they hope, because it just, there's so much so much bubble in the market. If they really raise interest rate like 7 times, right? Jamie Dimon has 7 times, it will crash. The stock market crash, the housing market will go to recession again. But think about it, if we go to recession again, where gold and silver are going to be, right? Especially gold, because when you go recession, I mean the Fed need to cut. You need to do another QE. So where gold will be. So that's why I'm bullish on gold and silver for the long term.
Definitely. I mean, if the market is already priced in rate hikes and the Fed ends up not raising rates, that can only be bullish for gold, it seems like.
Right. I think they will raise rate, but they will probably raise 3-4 times. But we still have a negative interest rate, even with the raise below inflation. So I don't think they can raise too much above that, because there's a lot of issues, including our national debt, including the bubble, in this market. So.
Fantastic. Well, no one can know the future, but it's definitely very interesting to get your perspective and your forecast, Chen. Thank you so much for your time, and God bless.
Thank you.
This is Dunnigan Kaiser, founder of Liberty and Finance. I'm now a licensed gold and silver broker for Miles Franklin. Call me directly for the physical gold and silver that you need at the best price, with personalized private service from one of the oldest and best companies in the business. 31 years strong, A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, 0 complaints, licensed and bonded. For physical delivery, vault storage, or precious metals IRAs, excellent prices, privacy, and confidentiality. Pay by check, money order, ACH, bank wire, or Bitcoin. Satisfaction guaranteed. For fastest service, just call 1-888-81-LIBERTY. That's 888-81-LIBERTY. And either I or one of my sons and fellow brokers will call you back as soon as we can and understand your needs.